So the three things that people want to know about a heat pump is it noisy? How much does it cost to run? And are we staying warm?
Yeah.
Is that essentially it?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that my intro?
I don't know, do you want it to be?
That's totally fine.
Okay.
Sorry, did I need it to be more pizzazzy?
No, that's fine.
With jazz hands.
Now the question is going to be, the haters and the critics are going to be out there and saying, this all sounds well and good, a warmer, more comfortable home, no hot and cold spots, lowering your humidity, being able to keep the house warm 24 hours a day, but that's going to come at a price.
Yeah, I was going to say, it must cost you more.
You know,
yeah.
What are you sacrificing to get there? So what about running costs?
Well, this is where you're going to have to answer because I don't really pay attention.
You don't really care about that.
I do care.
So the question I'll put to you is, would you pay a premium price, now having lived with a heat pump, would you pay a premium in running costs or capital investment, installation costs, to have the house feel as it feels now with a heat pump?
I wouldn't pay a premium because that's not how we roll.
Okay, so you'd still be willing to sacrifice to live in a cold house?
Yeah.
Okay.
But with your kind of second question was that capital investment.
Yeah.
So I was far more willing, once you'd kind of roughly worked out the sums, that over the course of time, although we believed that we were going to have to spend more money putting in an air source heat pump than putting in another traditional gas boiler.
Yeah.
So we knew that we thought we were going to have to put in more money for that. So I was willing to do that, but I didn't really know about the comfort then. I'm not really helping answer this question, but even if it was the same, I was willing to do it, but that's for the environmental reasons.
Okay, that's an interesting one. So the financial aspect is not really an issue at all for you, although we factored in that the investment was pretty similar. Then the government came to our rescue and halfway through the process handed out an extra £2,500, so it did work out considerably cheaper than the gas boiler system would have
exactly,
worked
and we didn't know that at the time.
Yeah, so we were willing to do it even if there was just cost parity there.
Yeah.
But for you, the benefits are more environmental benefits rather than financial benefits. So it's just like the icing on a cake, with a cherry on top, that for the first 2 full months of running the heat pump, we saved £200 in comparative running costs compared to our old gas boiler. That is not necessarily a fair comparison because it was incredibly inefficient. So we're not comparing it to a modern condensing boiler. If we'd have installed a modern condensing boiler, we still would have saved some money against that. It wouldn't have been £100 per month, right?
Rather than...
I guess the point we're making for the video is we have made financial savings, but it's not all about financial savings. You could probably get a heat pump installed in your home cheaper than a full gas heating system. If you're only needing to change your boiler and everything else is fine, then exchanging it for a gas boiler is going to be financially cheaper in terms of the capital investment, but there's massive environmental benefits. Have you paid much attention to the carbon saving?
I know you did tell me. I can't remember what you said, but no, sorry.
It's absolutely massive. We forecasted there would be 2 tons of CO2 per year for our household.
Is this based upon our old boiler?
Yeah, and so that was extrapolating what we'd used with the gas boiler. No, sorry, that's not compared to our old gas boiler. That was comparing to go into a condensing boiler. So my baseline assumption was we need to replace the heating system. If we go for a modern condensing boiler, we're going to save carbon over our old non-condensing boiler. But what would be the saving in carbon between a new condensing boiler and a heat pump? And that was 2 tons of CO2 per year. So
How much?
2 tons, 2,000 kilograms of CO2. Huge.
Yeah.
The biggest carbon saving we could do, full stop. Change to an EV, we wouldn't save that much carbon. You know, cut everything else out. Solar panels, you won't save that much carbon. Changing to a heat pump dramatically slashes our carbon footprint as a household. But it looks like we're actually on track to save more than that. Now I'm doing like actual calculations, and some of that will be that the grid is getting cleaner all the time. So the energy we're using for our heat pump is actually greener, and so we're saving even more carbon than the 2 tons that I'd forecast. And that is, as an aside, we've now got solar panels, so every kilowatt hour of solar energy we are self-consuming. We are, apart from the embodied carbon in the actual solar panels and the heat pump itself, we are running completely carbon free. So that is like, it's hard to even.
So that's the net zero.
Oh, that's the goal. That's a complete other video to go for that. All right, have we beaten the drum to death about environmental things?
Yeah, let's say we have.
It's a good thing to do. Helps you, if nothing else, you're doing your little bit, trying to counteract China and their
Stop.
amazing
Just
ways
stop.
of it. Oh, step away from the politics. Okay. So the third big issue that the heat pump deniers have is how incredibly noisy heat pumps are, and you can't possibly have one near a home because of how noisy it is. What do you say to those critics?